My friends, the greatest discovery a person can make is this. The power you seek is already within you, not somewhere in the sky, not hidden in distant temples or sacred books, but in the very breath that sustains you. When you act as if God is within you, you no longer live as a victim of circumstance. You rise as a creator of destiny. You cease asking for permission to succeed. Instead, you command success through faith, discipline, and purpose. There is a divine intelligence flowing through every heartbeat, every idea, every dream you hold dear. That intelligence is waiting for you to recognize it, to trust it, and to act with the authority it grants. The moment you accept that you are a vessel of divine power, fear loses its grip. Doubt becomes a whisper. You walk with a new confidence, not arrogance, but a sacred certainty that your thoughts are prayers and your actions are answers. Do not pray for strength as though you are weak. Speak strength into being, because the Creator's energy is already the pulse of your own soul. Do not wait for opportunity to knock. Build the door knowing that divine guidance is your architect. The greatest tragedy is not in failure, but in forgetting who you are. You were designed for greatness, for creation, for leadership. The same intelligence that spins the planets also beats in your heart. The power within you is the greatest, most sacred force you will ever come to know. It is not something that must be earned or found outside yourself. It has always been there, silently waiting for your recognition. Every person carries a spark of infinite intelligence, a fragment of divine energy that connects them to all creation. The tragedy is that most people go through life unaware of this magnificent truth. They see themselves as limited, powerless, and dependent on luck or external help, never realizing that they are walking temples of infinite potential. To act as if God is within you is to acknowledge that this power is real and alive. It is to live with an inner certainty that you are not merely a body of flesh and bone, but a living expression of the same intelligence that created the stars, the oceans, and the laws of life itself. The mind that governs the universe is not apart from you. It expresses itself through you. Once this awareness takes hold, everything about your thinking changes. You no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstance, but as the creator of it. When you awaken to this truth, you stop looking for strength in the world and start drawing it from within. You understand that every idea that flashes in your mind, every dream that stirs your heart, is a divine signal, a call to express the creative power that lives in you. You begin to realize that success, health, happiness, and peace are not rewards given to a few. They are natural results of thinking and acting from the divine center within. You no longer plead with the world for favor. You command your future through the authority of faith. This inner power does not shout. It whispers. It speaks in intuition, in sudden flashes of understanding, in the quiet conviction that you can achieve what others call impossible. It is that inner voice that says, go on, when the world tells you to give up. It is the unseen hand that lifts you when doubt tries to drag you down. To act as if God is within you is to trust that voice, even when logic and appearance seem to contradict it. It is to move forward not because the path is clear, but because your faith tells you it will become clear the moment you take the first step. The person who truly understands the power within never surrenders to fear. Fear loses its authority over the one who knows that divine power cannot be defeated. When you walk with the consciousness of the Creator within, you no longer see challenges as enemies, but as opportunities to express your inner strength. Every obstacle becomes a lesson. Every setback becomes preparation for a greater rise. The storms of life no longer shake you. They refine you. You begin to see life not as a battlefield, but as a sacred training ground for your spiritual mastery. But awareness alone is not enough. The power within you demands expression. It grows through use, just as a muscle grows through resistance. The more you act from the consciousness of divine power, the more that power expands. Each courageous step, each act of faith, each positive thought reinforces your connection to the infinite. This is why belief without action remains empty. To know that God is within you but refuse to act on that truth is like owning a lamp and never lighting it. The light of divine power shines through motion, through words spoken with conviction, through work done with purpose, through service offered with love. When you align your purpose with this inner intelligence, life begins to organize itself around your intention. Opportunities appear where there were none before. The right people cross your path. The right ideas come at the right time. This is not coincidence. It is the law of mind in motion. The power within responds to the energy you project. If you project doubt, you attract confusion. If you project faith, you attract clarity and strength. The universe mirrors your inner state. Therefore, think as though your thoughts are commands to the infinite, because in truth they are. You must train your mind to see yourself as more than human limitation. You are not your failures, your fears, or your past. You are the living expression of a divine idea. An idea born to expand, to create, to manifest greatness. Speak to yourself with reverence. Say to yourself, the power of the infinite flows through me. I am capable. I am guided. I am enough. Let these words be more than affirmation. Let them be recognition. When you think this way, you begin to attract the same energy into your world. You rise above hesitation. You develop an unshakable calm in the face of adversity, because you know that within you is the same force that holds the stars in place. There will be moments when you feel disconnected, when the noise of the world tries to drown your inner voice. In those moments, pause, breathe, remember who you are. The light within you can never go out. It may dim when forgotten, but it never disappears. All it takes is a moment of conscious faith to awaken it again. Whisper to yourself, the power within me is greater than anything before me. Feel that truth. Live it. To act as if God is within you is not arrogance. It is the highest humility. It is recognizing that you are not the source, but the channel of divine expression. You honor that power not by hiding it, but by using it to uplift, to create, and to serve. When you walk with that awareness, you carry a quiet radiance that inspires others. You become proof that greatness is not reserved for a chosen few. It is the birthright of all who dare to believe. So rise each day with the awareness that the infinite lives within you. Think boldly, work with purpose, speak with faith, and above all, act as if God himself is walking through your hands, speaking through your words, and dreaming through your heart. For when you live from that truth, there is no mountain too high, no dream too vast, and no power greater than the one already within you. Faith is not a wish, nor is it blind hope. Faith is a living, breathing power, a spiritual force that moves mountains within the human mind before it ever moves anything in the world. It is the invisible energy that transforms thought into action, dream into reality, and weakness into strength. Faith is the fire that burns quietly in the soul, whispering to you even in the darkest moments, you can. It is not dependent on what you see or what others believe. It draws its strength from the invisible certainty that what you seek already exists in the realm of possibility, waiting only for your belief to bring it into form. To act as if God is within you is to live through this force of faith. It is to know deep within your spirit that you are never truly alone, that the intelligence which created life itself moves through your mind, breathes through your body, and guides your path. Faith is the recognition of that truth. It is not something you borrow when life is good and abandon when storms come. It is the anchor that holds you steady in the wind. The person who understands faith as an inner force no longer begs the universe for answers. They listen for guidance within and then move forward with calm determination. Faith is not a substitute for action. It is the foundation of it. The one who truly believes does not wait for the perfect conditions. They create them. They step forward even when the path is unclear, trusting that each step will reveal the next. They act as though success is inevitable, not because of arrogance, but because they understand that divine power responds to conviction. The universe bends to the will of a mind that refuses to doubt its connection with infinite intelligence. Doubt is the opposite of faith, and it is born from the illusion of separation. When a person forgets that God, the source of all power, resides within them, they begin to rely solely on external evidence. They measure their chances by statistics, opinions, and appearances, and in doing so, they shrink their vision to fit what they can see. But faith looks beyond appearances. Faith sees the end before the beginning. It speaks the language of creation. I am capable. I am guided. I am already becoming. It is the invisible architect that designs your future long before it takes shape in the physical world. You can always recognize a person of faith by their calmness. When others panic, they remain steady. When others see problems, they see possibilities. They may not have all the answers, but they have a quiet assurance that the right answer will come. This calmness is not naivety, it is power. It comes from knowing that the same intelligence that governs the stars and tides is working through them, guiding every step toward fulfillment. To such a person, failure is not defeat, it is feedback. Obstacles are not barriers, they are stepping stones. Every challenge becomes a message, every delay a divine adjustment towards something greater. Faith as an inner force transforms fear into courage. Fear says, what if I fail? Faith replies, what if I succeed? Fear focuses on the worst that could happen. Faith expects the best and prepares to receive it. This is not wishful thinking. It is a disciplined way of seeing life. It requires practice, persistence, and self-control. Each time you choose to believe instead of doubt, you strengthen that inner force. Like a muscle, faith grows through use. The more you rely on it, the stronger it becomes. To build this power, one must guard their thoughts with great care. The mind is a garden, and faith is the seed of greatness. If you allow fear, worry, and negativity to take root, they will choke your vision before it has a chance to grow. But if you nurture thoughts of success, peace, and purpose, your faith will blossom into results that seem miraculous. That is how the unseen becomes seen, through belief made constant in thought and expressed in action. There is no room for half-belief in a mind that desires greatness. You must decide. Either you are guided by divine intelligence, or you are not. There is no middle ground. A person who doubts one moment and believes the next sends mixed signals to the universe and receives mixed results in return. But when your belief becomes absolute, when your mind and heart move in one direction, nothing can stand in your way. Faith becomes a magnetic force that draws opportunities, people, and events toward your goal. It turns coincidence into alignment and struggle into growth. Faith also teaches patience. It understands that divine timing is perfect. You may not receive what you want exactly when you want it, but faith assures you that what is meant for you will never miss you. It may take longer than expected, it may arrive in an unexpected form, but it will always arrive. This patience is not passive waiting, it is active trust. It is the art of working while believing, of striving while knowing the result is already unfolding in your favor. When you truly live by faith, you no longer need constant reassurance from the world. You stop seeking signs and start creating them. You realize that your belief itself is the sign. That inner conviction is proof enough. The person who lives this way radiates confidence, peace, and purpose. They inspire others not through speeches or slogans, but through the quiet strength of their presence. People feel their energy and sense that something greater moves through them. That something is faith, the living connection between the human and the divine. To act as if God is within you is to let this force rule your life. It is to rise each morning knowing that infinite power stands ready to work through your thoughts, words, and actions. It is to trust that every inspired idea is a message from the divine urging you toward expansion. It is to replace hesitation with certainty, fear with courage, and doubt with determination. Faith turns the invisible into the inevitable. So when life tests you, and it will, stand firm. Do not look to the world for confirmation. Look within. Say to yourself, the same power that created the stars is guiding me now. Feel that truth. Let it move through your veins like electricity. Then act with confidence, as though success is already yours. Because in truth it is. Faith makes it so. Every person who has ever risen above the ordinary has done so because they discovered one thing, a definite purpose and a clear vision. Without it, life drifts like a ship without a rudder, tossed by the winds of chance, uncertain and unfulfilled. Purpose gives direction to power, and vision gives life to faith. When you act as if God is within you, you understand that the power of the infinite cannot flow through confusion. It needs focus. It needs an aim. Divine energy expresses itself most strongly through the mind that knows exactly what it wants. A definite purpose is not merely a wish or a vague desire. It is a decision. It is the quiet, unshakable, knowing that your life is meant to achieve something of value. It begins as a thought, but once claimed with conviction, it becomes a force. The person with a definite purpose speaks, thinks, and acts in one direction. They do not scatter their energy on 100 small things. They concentrate it on the one goal that calls most deeply to their spirit. That is how mountains move, not by random effort, but by focused intention powered by inner belief. Vision is the picture that purpose paints on the canvas of the mind. It is the image of the life you wish to create, the contribution you long to make, the greatness you were born to express. Vision is the bridge between imagination and reality. Every invention, every work of art, every movement that changed the world began as a vision in someone's mind. Before the airplane flew, it was flown 1,000 times in the imagination of its creator. Before a book is written or a business is built, it exists first in thought. The creative power within you responds to what you see in your mind, not what you see with your eyes. That is why vision is sacred. It is the blueprint of destiny. The tragedy is that many people never decide what they truly want. They drift through life reacting to circumstances instead of creating them. They allow fear, doubt, and the opinions of others to cloud their inner clarity. But the one who lives as if God is within them refuses to live aimlessly. They understand that divine power is purposeful. It does nothing by accident. The universe itself is organized, precise, and intelligent. To align with that intelligence, you too must live with intention. You must decide who you are, what you want, and why you are here. When you define your purpose, you awaken an energy that begins to rearrange the world around you. Suddenly, opportunities appear that were once invisible. People and resources come into your life as if guided by unseen hands. This is not coincidence. It is the law of focused faith. The mind, when fixed on a definite aim, becomes magnetic. It attracts what it needs to fulfill its vision. The clearer your purpose, the stronger your magnetism. The clearer your vision, the faster the results begin to manifest. Your vision must be your own, born from the whispers of your soul, not borrowed from the expectations of others. Too many people chase goals that do not belong to them, titles, possessions, appearances, and then wonder why they feel empty when they succeed. True vision resonates with your inner nature. It brings peace and excitement at the same time. It may seem impossible to others, but to you, it feels right. It stirs your spirit and keeps you awake at night thinking of possibilities. That is how you know it is yours. Once you know your purpose, write it down. Speak it aloud every morning. Let it become the heartbeat of your days. See it vividly in your mind until it becomes more real to you than your current circumstances. The outer world is only a reflection of the inner one. When the picture inside you becomes fixed and definite, the world has no choice but to mirror it. That is the creative process of life itself. Every great achievement was first a clear mental picture, held with unwavering faith and pursued with relentless action. Definite purpose also gives strength in adversity. When you know why you are here, temporary setbacks cannot break you. You no longer see challenges as punishment, but as preparation. Each obstacle becomes a teacher, refining your character and sharpening your will. Without purpose, pain feels meaningless. With it, pain becomes progress. The one who has a clear goal walks through storms with calm determination because they are guided by an inner compass that no external force can shake. Vision gives hope. It allows you to look beyond your present situation and see the future as you intend it to be. That vision feeds your faith, and faith fuels your effort. Together they create momentum. Even when you cannot yet see the full path, vision allows you to take the next step with confidence. It is like walking by a light that only shows the next few feet, but you keep moving because you trust that more of the road will appear as you go. That is how all great journeys are made. One step guided by faith, one action born of purpose. A mind filled with purpose and vision cannot entertain negativity for long. Doubt may knock, but it finds no welcome. Fear may whisper, but faith speaks louder. When you truly see the life you are creating, you no longer waste time comparing yourself to others or regretting the past. Your energy is sacred, and you spend it only where it matters, on the vision that aligns with your divine calling. Remember this: the Creator works through you, not for you. You are the instrument through which divine intelligence expresses itself. When you hold a definite purpose and a clear vision, you give that power a direction to move in. Without it, even divine energy remains dormant, waiting for your command. You are the captain of your own destiny, and the chart you follow is written in the language of your purpose. So take time to know yourself. Listen to the quiet voice within that says, "This is what I was made for." Honor that voice. Protect it from the noise of the world. Let your purpose become your prayer and your vision, your faith in motion. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Begin now where you are with what you have. Each small act of alignment brings you closer to the reality you have imagined. Live with purpose, and life will rise to meet you. Hold a vision so strong that nothing can shake it. When doubt comes, remember that divine intelligence cannot fail through you unless you fail to believe in it. The world bends to the will of the one who knows where they are going. Stand tall in your purpose. See clearly with your vision and act each day as if the infinite itself is guiding your hand. Because it is, that is how the ordinary becomes great and the possible becomes real. Fear and doubt are the twin thieves that steal more dreams than failure ever could. They do not shout, they whisper in moments of hesitation, in the quiet hours of the night when your vision feels too big and your strength feels too small. They ask subtle questions like, what if you fail? Or who are you to believe you can do this? These are the chains that keep many souls from realizing the greatness within them, but the one who acts as if God is within them learns the great secret of life. Fear and doubt have no real power except the power you give them. Once you recognize this truth, you begin to master them, and mastery over fear is mastery over life itself. Fear is a natural emotion. It was born to protect, not to paralyze. It warns of danger, but when left unchecked, it becomes a jailer that keeps you locked in mediocrity. The key is not to destroy fear, but to transform it. When you act as if the divine lives within you, you see fear for what it truly is, a signal that you are stepping into growth, that you are moving beyond your old limitations. Growth always feels uncomfortable because it calls you to become more than you were yesterday. When you understand this, fear becomes your servant, not your master. Doubt, on the other hand, is the shadow of faith. It tries to convince you that your vision is too bold, that your dreams are unrealistic. It feeds on indecision. The moment you allow it to linger in your mind, it begins to weaken your confidence, but the mind that is anchored in divine awareness knows that doubt cannot coexist with faith. You cannot hold both at the same time. One must give way to the other. If you feed your faith daily, through affirmations, gratitude, and purposeful action, doubt loses its grip, mastery over fear, and doubt begins with awareness. You must become an observer of your own mind. Watch how fear tries to enter your thoughts and disguise itself as logic. It tells you to wait for the right time, to play it safe, to stay within the lines of comfort. But divine intelligence does not operate in fear. It operates in faith, boldness, and forward movement. Each time you feel afraid, pause and remind yourself, the same power that created the universe moves through me. Say it until you feel it. Say it until your breathing slows and your heart steadies. You will find that fear cannot survive in the presence of faith-filled awareness. The moment you act in spite of fear, you weaken it. Action is the cure. Fear feeds on inaction and hesitation. It dies when faced with motion. When you take a step toward your goal, no matter how small, you prove to your mind that you are greater than your fears. This is how courage is built, through repetition, not absence of fear. Each courageous act becomes evidence for your subconscious that you can trust yourself. Over time, you stop waiting to feel brave before you act. You act, and bravery follows. To master fear, you must also master your thoughts. The mind is a powerful tool, but left uncontrolled, it can become your worst enemy. You must speak to yourself with authority. When thoughts of failure appear, do not entertain them, replace them. Declare, I am guided by divine intelligence. I cannot fail, I can only learn. The words you repeat become the seeds that